Does the release of the 5 high-ranking Taliban leaders endanger our country? At least one prominent newspaper thinks so. So the New York Daily News, take a look at the cover. Surprisingly, taking the president to task on today's cover for the controversial prisoner swap. And in an editorial says the president, quote, wants out so badly that he accepted the Taliban's terms regardless of the threat to American security. He is surrendering without honor. Joining me now, Chris Plante, host of the Chris Plante Radio Show, and Leslie Marshall, a Fox News contributor and a syndicated radio talk show host as well. Great to see the both of you.
Hey, Gretchen.
You too.
So, Chris, I was surprised to see this on the cover of the Daily News. What does it mean to you?
Well, look, I mean, if you look at what the president himself said in Poland just yesterday, he asked himself and the audience kind of rhetorically, is it likely or is it possible that these individuals are going to return to activities that are detrimental to us, his words? And he responded to his own rhetorical question, absolutely, all right? The trade was a bad trade. No one outside of the White House thinks that it was a good or a fair trade. It's like handing over the Japanese high command in exchange for a sailor that jumped overboard in the end. It's completely inequitable. These guys are bad news. 2 of them have been identified by the United Nations as wanted war criminals who have committed war crimes.
Right.
And the president loosed them on the world. They also set a horrible precedent in not only negotiating with terrorists, but giving them everything they wanted, and that endangers all of us.
You're saying a lot of stuff, so I got to get Leslie in here to counter it. How do you counter it, Leslie?
I don't counter 100% on this one, Chris. We do agree on some. This is not a deal that I would have made. I would have done the cash, but Congress didn't want to years back, and sometimes you can't go back when you have an option. I don't think this is about getting out, and I really don't even think it's about politics. I think it's about something deeper, but then I'm going to have to bring my grassy knoll in. With regard to whether or not they're dangerous, I concur with the president and Chris on that. But here is the reality. The reality is that they have been mentally, physically, and verbally changed as the people that they were when they went into Guantanamo Bay. Don't get me wrong, there's no kumbaya moment here, but the bottom line is that these people are not as powerful as they were when they went in. Neither is Al-Qaeda.
Well, we
they
don't
are
know
not
that.
themselves a part of a private terrorist organization.
What we do know is that recidivism is a pretty high rate with these Gitmo detainees being released. Both Bush and Obama have done it now, but there's about a 26% chance that they're going to do these crimes again. Chris?
Well, and these guys have not been reformed in any way. Every assessment done by the military and the intelligence community indicates that they're extremely high risk for release. There's really no disputing that. These guys are the new heroes of the movement, and they're going to assume more prominent roles now that they return, because this gives them cred that they didn't have before.
Leslie, let me ask you this. Do you think that this White House believed that there would be this kind of blowback?
Actually, I think the president's a pretty smart guy, and I think, and this is why I don't think it's political. You know, he was damned. Can I say that? Either way. I mean, if this soldier, and he is innocent till proven guilty, even in a military court, if this soldier died, the president would be attacked. If money had been exchanged, the president would be attacked.
Okay.
Do I think that they should have released other people and a lesser number, 1 for 1? Yes. I mean, and do we do this again? Absolutely not. We don't follow in the steps of Israel, who release hundreds for 1, and they do it repeatedly.
Well, I think 1 for 1 is a whole. That's like apples and oranges, though, because 1 for 1 is really different from 1 for 5. Chris and Leslie, got to wrap it there. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thanks, Gretchen.
And we're going to